Hi, in this video I will talk about the Surah 10 and starting from the verse 15. This is Jonah Surah. When our revelations are recited to them, those who do not expect to meet us, say, bring a Quran other than this or change it. Say, I cannot possibly change it on my own. I simply follow what is revealed to me. I fear if I disobey my Lord, the retribution of an awesome day. Say, had God willed, I wouldn't have recited it to you, nor would you have known anything about it. I have lived among you a whole life before this. Do you not understand, and do you have known me as a sane, truthful person? So, in the verse 15, we see that Quran verse are different than the Prophet's verse. Totally different. And it's not like inspired and written. It's like a directly from God, and it is emphasizing this. And so how we can confirm this? So we can confirm this based on people who live in religion starting from that time. So the Prophet Muhammad is cognitively sane, and I think it's also like I think some interpret it as I wasn't studying religious studies. He doesn't have knowledge to lie about it. He is not a scholar. And history class shows that he's not like that. His job is not like a professor. He's more like he's dealing with trade. We know it. At least. So I'm not believing hadiths, but at least his job must be correct, right? It's not that hard, and people don't have to lie about it. It's not a controversial topic. And who is more evil than one who fabricates lies about God or rejects his revelations? Certainly the transgressors never succeed. So the 15 and 17. So some people lie about God, and they lack of holy scripture. The verse 17 is mentioning about them. They worship beside God idols that possess no power to harm them or benefit them. And they say, these are intercessors at God. Say, are you informing God of something he doesn't know in the heavens of the earth? Be he glorified. He is the Most High, far above needing partners. The people used to be one congregation. Then they disputed. If it weren't for a predetermined word from your Lord, they would have been judged immediately regarding their disputes. They say, how come no miracle came down to him from his Lord? Say, the future belongs to God, so wait, I'm waiting along with you. When we bestow mercy upon the people after adversity had afflicted them, they immediately scheme against our revelations. Say, God's scheming is far more effective, for our messengers are recording everything you scheme. He is the one who moves you across the land and sea. You get onto the ships, and they sail smoothly in nice breeze. Then, while rejoicing therein, violent wind blows, and the waves surround them from every side. This is when they implore God, sincerely devoting their prayers to Him alone. If you only save us with time, we will be eternally appreciative. But yeah, this is interesting. So, but it is so nowadays, a lot of people repeat the meaning of this verse actually. So there are some, let's say, there are some atheists who do not believe in religion, and so since they do not believe in any religion, and those people who do not believe in any religion, but once they have a thread immense, they're imploring Lord. Why they're doing this? Because it is an instinct in our brain, and it makes them feel better. and this is not like this is an instinct of and it is coded by God. So if you search for it, maybe you cannot find it, but I think in the Google Scholar maybe we can see some things about this topic. God, so God and debt anxiety, yes. Assessing the relationships among forgiveness by God images and debt anxiety. So let's skip this, not skip this, let's click this. Previous research suggests that people who will feel forgiven by God may experience lower levels of debt anxiety. The purpose of are they Muslims? So they're from University of Michigan. The purpose of the current study is to contribute to this work by assessing whether the relationship between forgiveness by God and debt anxiety varies according to how people view God. 3 images of God are assessed: a pantheistic, a theistic, a deistic. So theistic is saying that we can know God, like Christians, Muslim. Theistic means there's a God but we don't know about it. Pantheistic is like everything is God. Objects are also God, and it's sort of an idol worshipper. Data from a nationwide survey was conducted and suggests that the relationship between forgiveness by God and debt anxiety is strongest among people with a theistic view of God, significantly weaker among people with a pantheistic, and not significant among individuals with a deistic, because they don't have any rule, I guess. It's interesting. The findings point to the importance of taking views of God into account when assessing the relationship between forgiveness by God and debt anxiety. So they're afraid of that crime. So this is not the surah we want. This is like interesting. So also we have to know they're not Quranist or not, and there are different. The sample size is quite high. So this is like feel forgiven by God may experience lower levels of sorrow. So I don't know what does it mean, like forgiveness by God and that anxiety is strong. So it means in theistic people, they can control this. If they do good things, they will be forgiving. It is like their settings are normal, but deists have no this setting. It causes problems in their brain. And other pantheistic, everything is God is like you're a God too. So it's like so weaker. It should be weaker. It's like idol worshiper. And if you then it means if this relationship is high, you have sense of consciousness, and you have this opinion. So it is sort of defending actually the theistic view of God, or not exactly, but I think so. This is interesting. So feel forgiven by God may experience lower levels of that anxiety. So if they are forgiven by God and then they have lower, it is a very beautiful study design, indeed, and published 6 years ago. So this we see that they praise to Him alone. At that time, they can be theistic. Why they become theistic? Because if there are rules, God will forgive you. If there are no rules, God will not forgive you. It's like you should believe they theistic. So if everything is God, you cannot feel this. So and the pantheistic view, everything is God, not true, and deistic view, there's no God anyway. So this is like anxiety that is like you who can, so they can stand against it with God praying. And we see the verse 23. But as soon as he saves them, God saves them, they transgress on earth and oppose the truth. O people, your transgression is only to detriment your own souls. You remain preoccupied with this worldly life. Then to us is your ultimate return. Then we inform you everything you had done. The analogy of this world life is like this. We send down water from the sky to produce with all kinds of plants from the earth, and to provide food for the people and the animals. Then just as the earth is perfectly adorned, and its people think that they are in control thereof, our judgment comes by night or by day, leaving it completely barren, as if nothing existed the previous day. We thus explain the revelations for people who reflect. God invites to the abode of the peace, and guides whomever he wills in a straight path. For the righteous, the reward will be multiplied manifold. Their faces will never experience any deprivation or shame. These are the dwellers of paradise. They abide therein forever. As for those who earn sins, their requital is equivalent to their sin. Humiliation is their lot, and no one beside God can perfect them. Their faces will seem overwhelmed by masses of dark night. They will be the dwellers of hell. They abide therein forever. On the day we summon them all, we will say to those who worship idols, "We have summoned you together with our idols." We will have them confront each other, and their idols will say to them, "We had no idea that you idolized us." They don't have power to hear. They worship prophet or other things, so they cannot know. God suffices as a witness between us and you. They were completely unaware of your worshipping. That is when each soul will examine what everything it had done. They will be returned to God, their rightful Lord, the Master, and the idols they had fabricated will disown them. Say, who provides you from the heaven and the earth? Who controls all the hearing and the eyesight? Who produces the living from the dead, and the dead from the living? Who is in control of all things? They will say, God. Say, why then you not observe the commandments? So this is another thing. So here in the previous example, we see that they're believing in God during the death scenario, in that death scenario, but later they say they don't do this. And why you don't live like this? Why you forget this? Why you don't think about it? Such is God, your rightful Lord. What is there after the truth, except falsehood? How could you disregard all this? This is what your Lord's decision does to those who choose to be wicked. They cannot believe. Say, can any of your idols initiate creation? Then repeat it. Say, God initiates the creation, then repeat it. So you can ask those atheists. Okay, you're atheist, you trust yourself a lot, and you trust whatever scripture you have, and then say that create a universe, then we will believe you. Say, does any of your idols guide the truth? Say, God guides the truth. Is one who guides the truth more worthy of being followed, or one who doesn't guide and needs guidance for himself? What is wrong with your judgment? Most of them follow nothing but conjecture, and conjecture is no substitute for the truth. God is fully aware of everything they do. This Quran couldn't possibly be authored by other than God. It confirms all previous messages and provides a fully detailed scripture. It is infallible, for it comes from the Lord of the universe. If they say you fabricated it, say then produce one surah like this, and invite whomever you wish, other than God if you are truthful. Indeed, they have rejected this without studying and examining it, and before understanding it. Thus did those before the disbelief. Therefore note the consequences for the transgressors. Some of them believe while others disbelieve in it. Your Lord is fully aware of evildoers. If they reject you, then say, I have my works and you have your works. You are innocent of anything I do, I am innocent of anything you do. Some of them listen to you, but can you make the deaf hear, even though they cannot understand? Some of them look at you, but can you guide the blind, even though they do not see? God never wrongs the people. It is the people who wrong their souls. On the day when He summons all of them, they will feel as if they lasted in this world 1 hour of the day during which they meet. Losers indeed are those who disbelieved in meeting God and choose to be misguided. This is interesting. This is a beautiful translation. Choose to be misguided. They choose this path. They cannot reject this. Whether we show you, we promise them, or terminate your life before that, to us is their ultimate return. God witnesses everything they do. To each community a messenger after their messenger comes. They are judged equitably, without the least injustice. They challenge, when will the prophecy come to pass if you are telling the truth? Say, I possess no power to harm myself or benefit myself. Only what God wills take place. Each community has a predetermined lifespan. Once their interim comes to an end, they cannot delay it by 1 hour nor advance it. Say whether this retribution comes to you by night or day. Why are the transgressors in such a hurry? If it does happen, will you believe then? Why should you believe then? You used to challenge it to come. It will be said to the transgressors, taste the eternal retribution. Are you not requited precisely for what you have earned? They challenge you to prophecy. Is this really what will happen? Say, yes, indeed, my Lord, this is the truth, and you can never escape. If any wicked soul possessed everything on earth, it will readily offer it as a ransom. They will be ridden with remorse when they see the retribution. They will be judged equitably without the least injustice. Absolutely, to God belongs everything in the heavens and the earth. Absolutely, God's promise is truth, but most of them do not know.